Hey guys, I'm supposed to be working, but instead I'm going to do my book review over Battling Boy. Uh, I don't have a PowerPoint for you because I did do this in an electronic version, but if you want to see the pictures that I'm using, there's two pictures posted under my Tumblr account. I didn't want to put it under CM Universe because then people might get confused. Who did this one? Who did? So there's two pictures posted under Captain Half and Half. Hope I don't move around too much. I'm new to this whole video thing. And I'll try to do the best I can. The story is one of the main reasons I chose this book. I didn't want one of those self-journal, find yourself books like most of the other ones have been. And I kind of wanted something light, so I chose a superhero book. And this was the first one that I saw on the top 10 list. It's the story of Arcopolis, and that's the city, and the Battling Boy. The Battling Boy wasn't their original hero. The original hero was named Haggard West, who unfortunately gets killed in like the second page, which I thought was kind of weird, but it's actually a pretty cool setup to the story. Haggard West had a daughter, and I'm not going to spoil too much of the book, but she's also a superhero. But Battling Boy is actually a 13-year-old boy who gets sent from this Valhalla-like place, almost like the place in Asgard from Thor. It's almost like that, and you almost got the Thor-like figure in his dad, who sends him to Earth to prove himself as a superhero. And that's kind of where you get this whole, like, can he do it? And he doesn't really believe he can do it. And he sends him with just a few things, like a manual on how to beat each monster, but the manual is not complete. The first monster he gets, he doesn't know how to beat. And he gets a map and a lot of money, but his main thing is he gets these shirts with these emblems of animals on them, and each animal gives him a different strength. If there was a weak point to this book, it was most likely the art. As far as some of the pictures went, they were a little childish. The picture that I show you of the monster is kind of almost nightmarish, but it's not really scary. It's not really intimidating at all. That being said, the colors are really vibrant. It's a really pretty book. And he redeems himself in some of the other drawings, like the ones he does where the capes are flowing and it's very heroic. So that's cool. He also does a really good job at design, meaning that while he may not be able to execute the different things, he sure does show them. There's one particular character that I didn't show you. His name is Sinestro, and he's just in black robes, and it looks just evil. And that's most of what this is it's based on idea, not actual art, and I kind of like that. And the art does get better at the end. This would actually be a really fun one to talk about McCloud with, because he changes the speech bubbles a lot. He changes the way he draws characters almost on a panel by panel basis because of what they're feeling. And that to me seems like it should be something noted as far as what McCloud's talked to us about. On top of that, most of the characters that aren't Battling Boy or Haggard West's daughter are pretty generic looking, almost like you could identify with them in the same way that simplification, amplification thing that we talked about. Other than that, there's not really very many action lines, or I guess you could talk about time passing. That's kind of cool, and the narrative speech bubbles, but other than that, it's just kind of interesting. There were a couple of action lines in the sports scenes, but I didn't put any of those up. I only put 2 pictures up. One was the full page monster, and the other one was the actual battling boy picture. So um, that's my McCloud piece. Alright, it's time for the final judgment, guys. I would have to say that after reading the whole book, I don't know if it should be on the top 10 list. It doesn't really tackle any huge issue, which is usually what gets something to the top 10 list. That being said, another part of the book that makes me think that it should is the fact that I want to read every other book that this thing has. It really got me hooked, and for some reason, I just want to buy every single Battling Boy and read it, just because it's really easy read, it's really fun, and you really don't have to think a lot when you read it. It's just there for like a relaxing read, and that's usually what I go for. So I would recommend this book to anyone who's just casually reading comic books. So Randy, I hope he gets to see this, and anyone who just wants to relax and read a comic book. For any of you that really want to read it, I don't know if the library has it, but I know that on iTunes it's $9.99 for the first one, and everyone after that's like $7.99. And I think there's 3 up there right now. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys Thursday.
I get up when you get down to this. Keep cool, but still get loud to this. When it drops, just can't deny. The mic turned off, but I'm amplified. So if you want